Tell us a little bit about your current career, what you're doing, and wrapped into that, of course, is the pandemic situation we find ourselves in.
So before COVID, my current career was I ended up opening up a business at the age of 22 years old. And what happened was I had an opportunity and I seen a need within my community of economic opportunity. So I lived in this place in this district called Kalapana. Kalapana has a little over 250 residents, and majority of the residents are family, friends, extended family, extended friends. Uh, I seen the opportunity to open up a business that could employ a lot of our family members who would travel not only from Kalapana to Hilo, but also the extremities of this island across our island and be employed in businesses not only in Hilo but in Kona. So from Kalapana, it's like a 2.5 hour drive, and we would see that happen. And I seen that happen, and I said, "Wow, our families are driving 5 hours a day to their job, and they're taking that 5 hours of quality family time away from their family." So we created a business. It's called Kalapana Cultural Tours, and what we did was our business was surrounded by lava tours. Obviously, everyone know Kalapana. There's a lot of lava flows that have come through during 1983 to 2018. So we capitalize on tourism, where my tourism was all about culture and science clashing together to tell a story. And that's what we became. We became a cultural tour that could, with science and culture, could coexist together. And we became a really successful tour company. And we became we was named the best tour company on the East Hawaii by Trip and Herald for 3 years. And we had lava boat tours, hiking tours, bike rentals, cultural tours, and we had what else we had? Oh, we had shuttle services. So that was our niche, to bring in people. That was our selling point, to bring people to our community and share our history of Kalapana, because a lot of people that would come down to Kalapana and they would not know there was 190 homes taken in the 1983 to 91 flow. People, tourists, so we would share our stories of how we went through the eruption in those times, and it became a quality tour where our families could work for quality financial stability. So now, but obviously right now, because of COVID, I'm looking for another job. That's why I'm here in front of you. No, but that was my business. But during that time, I've been involved in different other businesses with myself. I've been involved with commercial fishing. Myself and my brother became one of the most successful fishermen for Suisan Fish Market in Hilo. We were commercial fishermen for 2 years. Now I'm into cattle ranching. So now, past couple of years, so all these, and also cultural. I'm not cultural, but agricultural business. We've been part of the agricultural business also in Kalapana on being selling some of our produce to our district. So being in these different businesses, I gained a lot of experience of how to do business with the agricultural, cattle ranching, tourism, and also commercial fishing. So that's my business background, and I'm a businessman. But my business was basically how we can empower our families and our community of a business. So that's my business background.
Mahalo. So you've told us a little bit already about why you're running for mayor of Hawaii County. Is there anything you want to add? And what qualifies you to ask for our votes?
So just plain and simple. Jackie, I'm born and raised here. My family is generations from this island, all across this island, from Kona to Hilo to Kohala to Ka'u. My ancestors is buried here. I'll be here forever. I'm gonna, I'm gonna leave this place, and I'm gonna lay to rest in Hawaii. My kids, my grandkids, all is from this area. So that's a key thing for me, is like, I just want the best for our island. That's it. I want the best for our kupuna services. I want the best for our keiki and our future. So that's something that have always been with me. But the second thing is, I think one of the qualifications, people ask me about this all the time. They say, I have been myself led our community through a disaster. Everybody know from 2018, and from 2018 eruption, that's what spurred me to run for this seat. Let me just talk to you guys about a daily, like the daily plan of running this Pu'uhonua Opuna, or also known as the hub, that was a crucial component during the 2018 eruption for a lot of the lava evacuees. For 3 weeks, I probably had maybe 12 hours of sleep. So what I would do is, what my job was during that time was creating a hub where people could get reliable information. So in the morning, this is how my daily plan would be, if I may. In the morning, situate the hub, get it ready for distribution of any donations for the day, and also get the people ready to for breakfast. We had about a couple hundred people come for breakfast every day. How we got the breakfast? I worked with a nonprofit organization called Road Central Kitchen, which is from California. His name was Tim. He flew down to Hawaii Island, and that nonprofit organization, what they do is they go to every natural disaster in the country, or should I say in the world, and supply people with food. So he flew down. He tried to work with the county. He tried to work with other nonprofits to set up a food station. So we ended up working with him. We was the last people. I said, hey, can you come? He told me, hey, I want to cook. We're from a nonprofit organization that we work with local cooks within your community to provide food. So we worked with Tim from the Road Central Kitchen, which we provided over 1,000 plates of food every day for our people. So we worked with the nonprofits. Second, we worked with community organizers, not only for evacuating people, but also rescuing pets and checking on people's homes. So coordinating these efforts every day, every morning. Hey, we need people in Leilani Estates to find out what's going on with Kahukai Road. Where is the lava at? Not only from land, but we worked with people from the sky. Mick Calber and Paradise Helicopters, Bruce Omori, continuing to work with these people to get the best information for our people. Also from the ocean, we got people on the ocean getting the best information of, finding out what's happening in Kapoho area where, the access was stopped. So, I mean, the list goes on, and we can go forever and ever on what we did. But I think leading our community through a disaster is something that I have always had in my heart, because of living through a disaster in 1983 to 91. Watching Harry Kim take care of our community of Kalapana. That was I used to look at him, and he was like amazing back then. And that's what we try to replicate during the 2018 eruption. And we were a key component within the community.
Mahalo. So, Ikaika, obviously we've touched upon economic development,
Right.
and you will be selecting new cabinet positions that will affect economic development. We're interested in all of the departments, of course, and all of your positions, but specifically in the areas of research and development, planning, public works, and housing. Um, Not asking for specific individuals, but what kind of individuals, what kind of skill sets are you looking for, or will you be considering?
So basically, what we have done, we ended up we ended up before the primary, we ended up going around the island and meeting with all different people. But research, R&D, research and development, we need people that actually have businesses, been in successful businesses, have a mindset, have innovative ideas, how to get us out of this funk that we are in right now with tourism development, creative economy. There's a lot, climate change, energy. We need innovative people within that department. There's a few people that we are looking at right now that have been in previous administrations that have been successful. Also, but we're looking, because what our main objective was always to have an out of the box thinker, and also inside of the box thinker. So one person that have been in government before to lead, and another person that is outside of the government to make those different decision making. Second, the public works. Obviously, public works right now, it's not working. It hasn't been for a while. We have a lot of permitting issues that we have. So there's a few people that we are looking at that specialize in architecture and engineering, not only in the director's position, but also in a deputy position. And outside of the box, again, the outside of the box thinkers is the people that was affected by permitting. We know a lot of permitting. The permitting process is hard, and I've been through it. Some of my permits have been over a year to get. We need to make it easier for our community and our contractors to have our permits available quicker than what it is now. So basically, inside of the box, outside of the box, and the last one was Office of Housing. We looked at the people that is in there right now, and how housing, responsible for the planning and administration of developing plans and operations of all the County of Hawaii's housing programs. So we got to figure out Section 8, because there's a lot of Section 8, there's a lot of issues, especially we're going to have a lot of issues coming up because of this pandemic. And we're going to have a lot more people in low-income housing and low-income family threshold that we got to figure out how we can help these people out. So basically, what we've been looking at is people that have been successful with previous administration and administration now, with the director positions and the outside of the box position, which is the deputy, so we can make the best decisions for everyone. Because we all know the director position can say one thing, and the outside, the outside of the box thinkers, which is the deputies, can work together to make the best plan possible.
Great.
If that's the case.
Thank you.
And the most qualified and the best and the brightest, pretty much,
Thank you. So that's a great segue into our question about property taxes. The majority of the income in the form of property tax revenues, many people will tell you it comes from West Hawaii, and yet there's been some concern from residents in West Hawaii that the mayor's cabinet is overwhelmingly, if not exclusively, drawn from East Hawaii. You already said you've been looking island-wide. Can you provide some indication of how you would correct this misperception, if that's what it is, besides looking kind of island-wide for personnel?
So this is what I'm doing. My cabinet, My managing director I'm from the East Hawaii. My managing director is going to come from West Hawaii. That's plain and simple. We need representations in both sides of leadership. Well, in the executive leadership roles, which is the mayor's office, mayor, managing director, and deputy manager. So first of all, I want to make sure that the second person in command will come from the West Hawaii. There's a few people that we're looking at already that have been in previous administrations. So we want to make sure we can balance our island well. Obviously, property tax, almost 70% of our property tax comes from the West Hawaii region. So we want to make sure we can represent West Hawaii well. And also our managing director also might be coming from West Hawaii also.
Great, thank you. So I'm going to wrap two questions into one. How do you visualize your administration's first 100 days in office? And tell us about your management style, because obviously that'll impact.
So, the first 100 days, we started already, Jackie. We started to create different economic plans. Because the first thing that we want to make sure, I think the first 100 days we want to attack, which we are attacking already right now. The first one is economy, stabilize our economy. How are we going to stabilize the economy? Can we bring back tourism? Tourism brings in a lot of our money. Our TAT tax is 19 million. So, tourism brings in 30% of our economy right here. It employs 30% of our economy. So there's 92,000 people that is working in the workforce on Hawaii Island. 30% of those is working directly in the tourism industry, West and East Hawaii. So that's over 27,000 people that is working directly impacted by our tourism. So we got to figure out how we can bring back tourism. Second is the budget. The budget will be next fiscal budget, 2021 will be okay for now. But there's a few things that we want to make sure that we can manage the budget during this time. Third is communicating with every community, every district, every leader, working with our county council to figure out what's happening in different districts around our island. So that's the three things that we want to attack: economy, stabilize our economy, managing the budget, and communicating with community members around the island.
Great. So the community as a whole, including the county council, often disagree on issues, and that can be very divisive. How would you lead the community, or how will you lead the community and the county to work for the good of all of Hawaii Island and all of its residents?
It comes down to communication again, Jackie. You got to communicate. As of right now, if I'm not mistaken, there's not that much communication between the county council and the mayor's office. So there's a lot of divisiveness, and there's not that much transparency. You got to communicate with all your leadership people within the county. Not only with the county council, but have everyone communicate together from all the departments to find out the best way we can move forward as people on Hawaii Island. So we have a triangle. And, as far as for the budget, so the top is the mayor, finance director, and county council. Every point of connect, there's a barrier. We found that out. We talked to some of our county council people, and I said, how is the communication between that three in that triangle? They said there is none. There is no triangle. There is no communication within this group. So how do you guys pass these budgets? Well, county council submits the budget real strategically, gives it to the mayor approves it, goes to the finance director approves it, comes back. But between those communication, county council don't know what the mayor wants, and the finance director doesn't know what the county council wants. So it's like there is no communication. So for me, it's an open door policy, and I like to connect with people and communicate with people to get the best ideas to move forward.
Mahalo.
Jump in. I'm going to jump in. Sorry, Jackie. If
No
it's okay,
problem.
just as far as time. So thank you, Jackie. Those questions were excellent. And there's still one more. Maybe we'll get to it at the end, if that's okay.
Ikaika, one question that we missed that I think is important.
Yes.
Ikaika, one of the questions I wanted to ask you is regarding home rule post-pandemic. How important is home rule on our island to you? And, you know, I'm relating this. One of the questions we have come up is transient accommodations tax. As you know, whenever the state goes down the rabbit hole, they look at reducing or excluding TAT to the county. So just curious, using that and asking you about home rule.
You know, the TAT tax, we always get the short end of the stick every time. So, you know, I am for home rule. I'm all for fairness. Obviously, TAT tax, we're not going to get any TAT tax in the next year. Maybe a little, but, you know, 19 million and the amount of tourists that come here, and we still get the short end of the stick. I think our county government and our leadership roles got to negotiate on getting a better value of that TAT tax. I don't know if it's up what you want as the answer, but I want to come back to the table and say, hey, you give me the short end of the stick. We had X amount of tourists on this island, and it would equal out to 34 million. And why are you only giving me 19 million? I think home rule comes into effect. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.